And I read recently that you said you were more nervous for the first test, the build-up for 2009, than you were for the World Cup final. Is that right?
Yeah, mate, there was so much riding on that first test, and remember the reason why for my nerves were so much higher than usual is that I'd gone from being a hooker in this '07 World Cup to being the tight head for the series, and I pretty much knew, and that's why I speak about selection. For me, when they announced the first team, and take nothing away from Gethin, I was delighted Gethin was selected at loose head because I could think of nothing worse than facing Andrew Sheridan. It would have taken a lot away from the Lions' ability to play around the park, but it would have been a nightmare for me. So, for me, the first bit of I guess, of a breath of fresh air was the fact that I didn't have to face the beast of Andrew Sheridan.
Yeah.
But it was a massively nervous time for me as an individual because of what was riding on what had happened 12 years ago and the fact that I was playing out of position.
Well, funnily enough, I mean, if my recollection is right, I'm certain it is. The scrum was a vital part of that. And it shouldn't have been, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been that way around. But you've mentioned your delight at not having to play Sheridan, and I understand that. It seems to me that South Africa, above everyone else, are able to turn scrum domination into real points, into real domination around the field. Now, is that a constant technique? Is it a mindset? Is it right?
Well, Brian, I think you'll enjoy my answer to this more than most. But back a long, long time ago, South African packs of forwards did whatever it took to intimidate and fight the opponent. I mean, it was tough to play in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s. When I was a kid, I got smashed up as a kid.
Yeah.
And the scrum is the last legal form of warfare in the modern game. I mean, there's cameras on everyone at every angle. So the scrum is the last place where you can actually get in the ring and smash a right hook and see what happens to the opponent. And South Africans get a massive amount of confidence out of that warfare situation, as you well know. So, and the reason why it's still such a loved part of the game, and I go around to kids and I always have to give them a sort of a safety first on scrums, but it is something that you are taught to love from an early age. So the scrum is the last part of warfare that's allowed and legal, and it's the one thing that allows you to get the first punch in, right? The game has never started until that first scrum comes, and if you win that first blow, it's a massive, massive confidence gainer.